All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and we're going to go over kind of like the hidden costs of owning a home. Like, yes, beautiful. It's beautiful, but it costs real money. This is not my house, not even close to my house. This house seems to be around anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 square feet. My home was 3,500 square feet, but that's neither here nor there because the size of your home has a lot to do with the cost of your home living in a particular area. What's important is also your credit score. Credit score, which a lot of people don't like to talk about. You know, everybody knows your credit score except your loved one. Everybody knows your credit score except your best friend. Like, oh, that's personal. But this entire organization that deals with credit and loans knows your credit score. See, we need to understand that a person's credit score affects their ability to qualify for different types of credit. And then those varying interest rates, whether it be ARM, adjustable rate mortgages, we're talking about homes, and also your fixed rate mortgages, okay? Now, granted, we always push people into fixed unless you have a plan within the next 1 to 3 years and you get into a low ARM around 1%, no more than 2% when it comes to those, because usually our ARM is gonna blow up after a year. That's part of the contract, okay? But a person with a high credit score, may qualify for a 30-year fixed mortgage with a 3.8%, a 3.2% annual percentage. That's your APR, annual percentage rate, on a $300,000 loan. Now, take for instance this house. Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Arizona. This home is going to be a lot cheaper, regardless of the surrounding area, right? I'm not talking about the community, because that also plays a role. Those states alone, very few of them, there's a lot more than that. Their homes are going to be cheaper than California, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, New York, Maine, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. All of these homes are this same home is $1 million home easy in those states. Now, granted, in some communities, in some cities in the southern states, this home too is probably $1 million home. But you can get this home fairly cheaply. But let's get back to it. At 3.8% APR on a $300,000 loan, will only roughly cost you around $1,400, roughly. Now, conversely, a person with a low credit score, assuming they qualify for the same $300,000 mortgage, okay, both of you getting the same mortgage, but you have a high credit score, this person has a low credit score, and let's say this person paid a whopping 5.39%. 5.40, 5.39% on the same $300,000 loan, with a corresponding monthly payment of $1,683 or $84. Automatically, you see the difference in having a higher credit score. You see like a $240 difference. So you're roughly paying around $280 something per month extra. And see, over the life of a mortgage, a 30-year fixed mortgage, the person who's paying that $285 a month is paying a whopping $100,000 more. That's money you could have bought a rental property with. That's money you could have went to Disney World with. That's money you could have bought the Porsche or the Maybach or the Range Rover, or donated to a fund or charity that you always wanted to invest in. Pretty much you could have did anything with the money. But because your credit score sucks, you're gonna pay an extra $100,000. It's going to be over $100,000 with the numbers I gave you. I know you're doing the math. You're writing down 3.8, 30-year fix, $300,000 loan, 1398, 1340 for the person with good credit. The person with bad credit, you're 5.39%, 5.40%, $300,000 mortgage, 30-year fix, and your payment's around $1,683, $1,684 a month, paying an extra $285 a month, and over the course of that time, you're paying $102,000 more than the person with good credit. That's important. That is important, how good credit is to buying a home. Some of you are just thinking, oh, it's 1 or 2% more, it's not a big deal. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are investing, saving, or interest on a loan, those 0.3, those point this, that, 1 point that, it's an extremely large amount of money, or extremely large amounts of cash. You got to do your math. It's very, very important of you having a good credit score. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we are in the first segment of this video, because we're gonna go in the cost of owning a home. This is the cost of owning the loan for your home. This is the most important, but you gotta get your credit right today. This all encompasses your debt management and your budgets. Now, excuse me, we understand that your credit score comprises of 5 parts, comprises of 5 sectors. You have your, let me see here. Your payment history is 35% of your credit score. Write this down. Please write this down. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to write this information down. 35% of your credit score accumulation, how they compute your credit score, is payment history. How have you been in your payment history? Were you ever late? Was you late only once? Have you been multiple late? Have you been late multiple times? Have you been 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, 120 days late, or 6 months, 180 days? Have you been a year late? These greatly affect your credit score by 35%. What's next? 30% is equate to the amount that you owe. This has roughly to do with your debt to income ratio. 30% of your credit score is the amount that you owe. Write this stuff down, ladies and gentlemen. This is very costly for your finances. This is very pertinent to your finances. This is life-threatening to your finances, is your credit score. You want to invest, you want to save, you want to travel. You got to get that credit score right, because not a lot of us are walking around with wads of cash, because if we was millionaires, if we were billionaires, if we were trillionaires, we wouldn't ask anybody for money unless we were investing in something and we didn't want to take all of the risk. So we asked other rich people, hey man, I'm putting $20 million inside of this property. I'm putting $20 million inside of this business. Can you go in on me? Because you don't want to assume 100% of the risk. So that is why your credit score is important. And believe it or not, even though your personal credit and your business credit is different, they still look at your personal credit. I know, believe me. Believe me. This is important, guys, that you guys get your credit right. Next one. The legend, the time, the length of your credit history is 15%. It makes up 15% of your credit score. The length of your credit history. The length of your credit history. If you are someone who's very young, you got out of high school, you got out of college, you don't have a lot of credit. So a lot of times when people tell you, that new credit is almost looked at as bad credit. That's somewhat true. But I can tell you that bad credit is also looked at bad credit. And a person with a length of bad credit history is looked at as bad credit. If you have a history of always paying late throughout the year, or always faulting on your loan, then you have a bad credit history. And that is 15%. 15% of your credit score has to deal with the length of your credit history. Next, 10% deals with new credit and your recently opened accounts. 10% has to do with your new credit and your recently opened account. So take, for instance, when I bought this home, my credit score was around 780. Because of my debt to income ratio, when I bought this house, at the amount of income I had going in, once you show them your financials, and then I had to take a pay cut because I left Amazon, I wanted to do my own thing, I'm okay with that. My credit score dropped down 30 to 40 points. Also, because of the inquiries, okay, the inquiries, they do give you a buffer zone. Where if you're looking for a home and they see people tic-tacking your credit history, you're not going to be faulted by all those inquiries on you, because we understand that inquiries take away points from your credit score anywhere from 2 to 5 points. 2 to 5 points. Take, for instance, you had a credit score at 720 and you're going about looking for a home. You're going about looking to buy a boat or buy a car. You understand that you're in this space. Everybody's looking at your credit and you're shopping around for the lowest interest rate. But that can still affect your credit anywhere from 2 to 5. But you won't be affected 2 to 5 for each inquiry because you get this buffer zone. Some, if you're dealing with the Vantage Score 3.0 part of the credit, they give you like 2 weeks. If you're dealing with the FICO part of the credit, they give you like 3 to 4 weeks. So it's imperative that you guys understand this. Because some people may tell you, oh yeah, every time somebody look at your credit, they're taking 2 to 5 points away. That's partially true. The other 10% and the last 10% is types of credit in you. You have installment loans, you have revolving credit, you have all these different types of credit mixed. Now, the worst of them all, but they kind of require you to have this, to have a balanced credit mix. Revolving credit, that's usually credit cards. Now, I tell people like myself, I wish I had my wallet here, but I have my Gap card, my Venture One card, I have another Capital One card, I have a Discover card, I have a Credit One card, I think I have one more, I can't recall, but out of 6 credit cards that are actually on my credit report, that I use that to increase my income credit-wise, I only use 2 of them. I use my Gap card and I use my Venture One card. My Gap, I have $195 in Gap rewards, and I go and buy clothes from the Gap. Usually my pants, they really got nice khakis and stuff for guys with thick thighs. FYI, if you didn't know that already, you can go get some thick thigh khakis from Gap. So 10% types of credit. So let's go over it. You have 35% of your payment history, 30% of amounts owed, 15% of length of credit history, 10% of new credit and recently opened accounts, and then 10% of types of credits in. Look at it as a pie. Look at it as a pie. You got 35%, 30%, 15%, 10%, and 10% that makes up the encompass of your credit score. Now, it's important to know that FICO, the Fair Isaac Corporation, Scores do not take age into consideration. But the advantage of it doesn't take age into consideration. But they do weigh the length of your credit history, even though younger people may be at a disadvantage. Younger people, millennials, Generation Y, Z, they hold it as a disadvantage. It is possible for people with shorter histories to get favorable scores depending on the rest of their credit report. It's because you don't have a credit report of 5 years. What did you do in that 2 and 3, 4 years? Did you always make your payments on time? That's very imperative. A lot of people kind of do, we look at the average of America, right? The average of America dealing with age and credit score. I'm gonna give you the ratio, like depending on someone's age and the basic number of credit score, okay? Dealing with the date that I actually did this particular research, okay? Okay, I had this video on the back burner. So this is about 3 to 4 months old of research. No, I'm sorry, 2 months old, August. So people who are between the age of 18 and 24, roughly their credit score is around 630. People who are 25 to 34, your scores are usually around 628. This is not everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This is a ratio, this is a statistical amount dealing with the research that certain entities, financials give in order to see people that are in this age range typically have a credit score around this age, 18 to 24, 630. 25 to 34, 628. 35 to 44, 629. 45 to 54, 646. And 55 and over, 696. And you're probably saying, wow, everybody from 18 to 40 is roughly in that 630 to 628 category. But when you get to 55, credit scores tend to get a lot better because what? You're already established. You already have your business. You already have your house. You already have your dream car. You have 2 cars or 3 cars. But pretty much you're not buying as much as you used to. You're not taking out loans as much as you used to unless you are in business. But we're talking about personal credit dealing with your home. Some of the studies I found is that people in the age of 18 to 39 had the greatest number of late payments during the previous 12 months. Now, the 40 to 59 age group, held the greatest amount of debt. And the 60 plus age group had the lowest average credit utilization, meaning they're not using a lot of their credit. That's why over the age of 55, their scores tend to get a little bit higher. Now, let's be more in matter of fact when we're talking about the cost of your home. See, we talked about the credit score and how that affects your loan. And some of you say, well, what credit score should I strive for? And I'm gonna tell you, and I've been telling everybody, you should be striving for a 720 or above credit score. Most lenders, 90% of lenders look at your FICO score versus your Vantage 3.0 score. Excuse me for stuttering. Just need some aqua. So it's important that you get that credit score up at least to a 720, okay? At least to a 720 because it's important. Because it's gonna effectively grade your interest rate. I assure you it will. Now, I like to show a lot of stuff and I don't like to sell a lot of wolf tickets, okay? And some of you wanna have your 800s, your 850s, and I applaud you on that, I really do. Okay, I really do. Now, I like to go to a reputable source here and I'm trying to find out my credit score, so I could flash it up here. Because again, I told you I had around a 780, and believe it or not, good old who was it? That my debt to income ratio shot up because I left Amazon. They're like, well, you don't make it. I was like, well, and I think I'm down around, I'm trying to think, what is this account number? But I'm gonna move on as I'm looking for this. We're talking about the cost of owning a home, because a lot of you are in a home and you just bought a home, or you're looking to buy a house, and some of you don't understand how much homes really cost. Now, I strive all of you guys to buy a home. You should be a homeowner in this land of ours. Now, one caveat, you will never, again, you will never own, I mean, unless there's some special provisions and laws, policy, regulations, legislation, grandfather laws that I don't know of, but you will never own your land. You will never own your land. You like, yeah, man, I got 1 acre, I got 2 acres, I got this, I got a home out here on my land. I'm building a compound, I got this, I got that. My home is 1,800 square feet, but I'm roughly sitting on an acre of land. And when I tell people this, they like to shoot me in my pinky toe. They said, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, brother, sister, man, woman, child, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to educate you and to inform you. Stop paying your property tax. Go ahead, stop paying your property tax and see what the federal government would do to you. Stop paying your state tax. And then some of you are saying, well, the state tax and federal tax is paying for roads, they're paying for schools, they're paying for law enforcement, they're paying for fire department, they're paying for healthcare, they're paying for the infrastructure of your community, of your city, of your state, of your nation. But isn't it amazing in this land of ours that everybody wants to be a homeowner? And you may own your home, okay? You may own your home, but you will never own your property. Think about that. Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. You will own your home, but I would never own the land that this property is actually on. Isn't that phenomenal? Thank you, America. Because if you stop paying your property tax, and some of you are saying, well, they're paying property tax because they ran lines for sewage, water, electricity, gas. What if you say, I'm gonna get off the grid, even though I'm in a community where everybody's connected to the grid via Wi-Fi, water, sewage, gas, electricity, you name it, drainage, okay, plumbing. You're gonna do all those things. You're gonna have your own septic tank. You're gonna build a well. You're gonna use solar panels. You're gonna use geothermal heating. You're gonna get off totally from the grid. How much you wanna bet you still pay property tax? No matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, you will still pay property tax. Unless you go into some uninhabitable land and build from the ground up. Supposedly there's some free land in Alaska, the last frontier. Now, me personally, I know people who live in Alaska, but they live in the inner city parts. They don't want to live out there in the wild because they're not that sort of person. You know, they don't got no true survival skills out there. All right, before we get into the phone calls, I told y'all I'll show you my credit score right here. I'll show you, let me see if we got some account information on here. Let's see, account numbers. All right, I'm gonna show you my credit one. Here we go, here we go. Let me see if I can share my screen. All right, all right, all right. Here it is, here it is, here. Here's my account, okay? You see my name right up here, right to the top, Raymond Ross. This is me, not a lie. Here's my credit one card, zero balance, zero balance, zero balance. It's the end of the month. All your credit cards should have a zero balance. We understand if you take the balance of your credit card going over to the next month, you're going to pay interest rates. You're going to pay interest rates. You're going to pay compounding interest rates. You're going to be paying the man to use his money. The man will allow you to use his money absolutely free of charge, as long as you pay the amount that you use before the billing cycle date, which is usually it varies depending on who you have, and you have to find that information out for yourself. 28th of the month to the 3rd of the month is a lot of times where your billing cycles will compute, and they will once they compute, they will tell you your interest rate you have to pay on that particular card. So pay it all before the 28th in usual circumstances. Zero, 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 zero balance. I don't care. Most credit cards interest rates are anywhere from 15 to 25%. You're not going to pay that interest of the amount that you have on that credit card, the balance that you have on that credit card, at a 15 to 30%, because guess what? If you pay it all usually before the 28th or the 3rd of the month, the billing cycle does not compute. It will compute on $0, and interest on $0 is absolutely and positively zero. Here's my credit score. I said it was 780. It dropped down, as you can tell in my timeline here. I was up. They didn't even compute this. This has all happened within the last couple of months, but now I'm at 769. 769. That's where I'm at. Okay. So hopefully that gave you some insight of what I am doing with my credit. That way you can do something better with your credit. Let's talk about the cost of the home. We talked about property tax. I'm not going to beat a hole in your head. I'm not going to kill the nanny. I already done some. The next is HOA fees and condo fees. Woo! I hate HOA fees. I absolutely hate HOA. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I pay. And some of you may pay more than me, but I am going to be very transparent. I pay $1,200 a year in HOA fees. That's $300 a quarter. Or $400 a quarter, however they do the month. Every 3 months or every 4 months. HOA fees. So in order to live in this neighborhood, you have to sign a document that say you are going to pay HOA fees, not cry about it. And not whine about it. And 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 condos have condo fees. Now, I can understand condo fees. Condo fees for the beautification of your condo. They'll have people do the flowers, cut the grass. That's different. HOA fees, you're paying the HOA committee. Now, usually when a developer comes in, they make a board for HOA. Usually it's some of the developers that they may outsource to a management company, or they may even insource before they actually relinquish the power and authority to people in the community to govern their own. Because this is everybody's investment in my community. Your home is your investment. Your home, you're waiting for it, aren't you? Is an asset, but we know that it's a liability because we learned that right here on Financial Literacy 101. If your home is not making you money, it's a liability. But for the sake of argument, when you sell it, if you profit, then it was an asset, especially if you add up every single bill, every single utility that you've paid for the past 5 or 10 years. But we're getting too detailed. HOA fees. I'm gonna pay you $300 every quarter to ensure that my neighbor across the street, as I'm looking at his yard, he's gonna cut his grass every week, every 1 or 2 weeks. I'm gonna ensure that he doesn't paint his garage doors yellow. I'm going to ensure that he doesn't have a shed that towers taller than his backyard fence. This is what we pay HOA fees for. So when someone comes into the community, they want to live there. They want to buy a home there. I understand HOA fees. That doesn't mean I have to like it. It's an absolute ripoff. Let me tell you of another HOA I was a part of. They were absolutely and positively tremendous because guess what? I didn't have to go outside inside the hot ass Texas sun and cut my own grass. They say, sir, you pay $100 a month in HOA fees. But let me tell you, every 6 months, we have people to come around the entire neighborhood and wash all your windows. Every week and a half, we have people that come through the neighborhood and cut everybody's front lawn, not back lawn. They don't want to go on your property. They want to cut your front lawn and your side lawn. They don't go in your back gate. That's a HOA. I'm willing to pay that. I'm willing to pay that $1,200 because they're cutting my grass, they're washing my windows, and they will pull weeds as well. They said any weed over, I think it was a foot, 12 inches, where they can just pull and go. They were doing that as well. That's a HOA fee. That's a service, not a community as such as privileged as this one. And this is the funny thing about HOA, right? We all complain about HOA fees, but we all read the contract. We already read what they were going to do and what they wasn't going to do. But mainly HOA is kind of like a security guard. It's kind of like a police officer. We are here to make sure that nobody else does anything wacky and crazy with their home that possibly may decrease your property value. So either you're going to sell your home. We want to ensure that your home increase in value every year. For the equity that you built inside of it by doing landscaping, by upgrading, all sorts of things inside your home, we want to make sure that your property value keeps increasing. HOA fees, you gotta love them. Homeowners insurance. See, a lot of you don't really compute homeowners insurance. See, banks and mortgage companies often require it before issuing you a loan. They want to know, who do you have in your homeowners insurance? And see, and the premium, the amount you pay, the premiums, may even be included in your mortgage payments, like mine. If your lender helped you to obtain the policy, now bear in mind that premiums can and often do rise annually. We call that inflation. See, I remember I used to always come out maybe every month, maybe every 3 months about teaching you guys the purpose of having a high yield savings account. Anything that can combat inflation, because usually inflation was going anywhere from 1.8 to 2.1%. Now inflation is scheduled to go back up to 3.1%. You love your bank, but they don't love you. Look at your savings interest rates. Now, a lot of times that increases, like I said, inflation, it increases the rising cost of the value of your property and possessions. I'm just letting you know, guys, these are the costs of owning a home. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that mother burn. Nah, yeah, put some water on that damn roof. That roof is expensive. Now, most roofs have 20 to 30 year insurance, depending on what type of damage it has. Was it a natural disaster? Did a plane fall out the sky? Did a car hit a ramp and go into your roof? It just depends. We understand that water is your home's biggest enemy. I mean, you might as well just burn it up and get the insurance money and go to another home. Water is your home's biggest enemy. it can do so much damage to your home. It's quite ridiculous. And one of the roof's primary job is to keep water out. A leaky roof can cause cosmetic and structural damage inside and outside of a home. And of course, it depends on the severity of the leak. But water damage is the absolute worst. Roof damage usually results when asphalt shingles, that's your shingles made out of asphalt, become loose, cracked, blown off by the wind, or damaged by hail, which they have hail here in Texas. People leave their cars outside here in Texas going, my neighbor was telling me this, that they have hail the size of golf balls. And people got Mercedes, BMWs, Maybachs, Ferraris, Corvettes, expensive Jeeps they done jacked up and hooked up and souped up. And you're leaving it outside knowing it's a hailstorm that can happen. Now, granted, it's summer. They may have a winter plan, I hope. But when I look at people's garages as I'm rolling by, I see a bunch of stuff. Are you putting that outside and putting your Mercedes? You putting that Bentley? People got Bentleys around here. I got me a Hyundai. I ain't playing no Bentley. Your car got leather, so do mine. Your car got cruise control, so do mine. Yours got power windows, so does mine. What's the difference between them? 300 to 400,000. So we're talking about rules. What about your HVAC system? That is your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. Your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, your HVAC. A lot of HVAC technicians get paid a lot of money to learn these systems. Because HVAC systems are very complex. They control your heat, they control your cooling, they control some parts of your circulation. All of the air throughout your home. Now, something like that is not something most people will be able to effect. Most times when an HVAC person comes out, they have to replace or repair something. They have to replace or repair. And hopefully they're repairing and not replacing. Because if you don't have home insurance, if you don't have a home warranty on appliances, your tail is in trouble. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because those HVAC systems, especially if you have a two-story home, you'll be paying $10,000 trying to get two small systems or two big systems. Who's in the room? Let me not ignore you guys. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Penny Stock Investor. Thank you, kind sir, for the thumbs up. We have Ron Beck in the room. I can't get a loan no matter what I do. The only way I can buy a house is to buy it outright or contract for a deed. Ron Beck. You should possibly go over to rawsworldfinancial.com. That's rawsworldfinancial.com and schedule a meeting so you and I can sit down and have a conversation about how we are going to attack your finances so you too can own a home. It's possible, my brother. It is possible. Teddy Woodson, good morning, good afternoon, good sir. Haven't seen you in quite a bit of a time. Thank you for joining me today. What are all these things? Teddy Woodson said, if you never sell your home, is it really an asset? I'm gonna answer that question, Teddy. My HOA shovels too, that alone was worth it. I know that's right. This HOA around here does absolutely jack and shit. Except tell you what you should and should not do. I got rocks, right? I didn't want to do mulch. I want to do rocks. That's what, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, mulch looks perfectly fine. But you got to keep turning the mulch. You got to replace the mulch. You got to stack the mulch. No, I got rocks on them. It looks absolutely, positively awesome. Let me see if I can find some pictures on my phone that I can show you guys really quickly. of what I'm exactly talking about because it's important. It's important. I think I can go on my Google Photos as I run my mouth here because this is some stuff that you guys you just need to see how these HOAs and these people get over on us. And this is the thing: look around your neighborhood and see what everybody is doing, and then see what they tell you what you can and cannot do. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you some other stuff in my home that I took some pictures of, so you can see some upgrades that I'm doing. Okay, you're gonna hear the music stop for a moment, but I'm gonna share my screen here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is my laundry room. Oh yeah, this got this done by a black contractor. Very few out there. Also a prior Marine. He does very good work. He's not as fast. He is 58 years of age, but he still works a lot hard like a young man. So what you see here is two cabinets. Now, I should have showed you guys the other picture. Now on the other walls is that basic white shelf that you get. That was on this wall. This that white shelf across, nothing on the other wall. This that white shelf that you can put stuff on. So we wanted to retain that white shelf. We put that white shelf on the other wall. He cut it down the size so it wouldn't hit the door. That looks good. He caulked it in, painted it over. He did all that good stuff. Then this is what we wanted. This is what my lady wanted. Towel on the back of the wall, cabinets, right? Cabinets. And people don't even understand how this brings a value to your home because another family sees that, oh, I love that. Not only is it functional, but it looks good. Now, I picked out the design. She showed me a picture on Pinterest. I said, okay, I'm gonna find somebody to do it. But I picked out the colors of the cabinets. I picked out the colors the butcher block comes in one color, and then you condition the wood. I didn't stain it. I conditioned the wood with a wood conditioner. And then the guy polyurethane it to seal it. So if bleach or detergent or anything spills on it, it doesn't damage the butcher block. But the great thing about butcher block is so thick and strong, even if it damages, you can just sand it down, polyurethane it again. And as you see, we got shelves right here with the piping. And she's gonna put some decor on there, but you can use it functionally too. Something that you always use, dryer sheets, you can use this for anything. Okay? So I'm showing you some pictures here because we got some questions in the chat room. And I want you guys to be well informed. Thank you for the background. Yeah, the background is pretty nice, but that is not my house. All right. Teddy Wilson, I'm not gonna fit you good, sir. I'm gonna answer your question. You said, if you never sell your home, is it really an asset? Yes, it can become an asset where you pay for your home and now the only thing you're building is equity. And even if you never sell it, you know what the asset is, Teddy? And you know the answer, kind sir. You know the answer. You have a place to live and you're not paying a mortgage. The only thing you're paying are utilities. That's the asset. If you never sell it, it's an asset, okay? But it's also a liability because it's taking money out of your pocket because of your utilities and the property tax and your HOA fees if you have those. But guess how you can simply make your home an asset if you own it. An asset if you don't own it. Rent it out. Airbnb it. I didn't get on the Airbnb stock today because they stopped the parties in Airbnb. I'm telling people to look out for Snowflake. That's a 10 times much better investment. I'm gonna show you a few pictures and we're gonna go down my list of all these issues. I'm gonna show you a couple of more pictures, okay? Because I want to show you this yard. I'm gonna show you my yard here. Oh, I'm gonna show you my garage. I know a lot of you love the clean lines of a garage. Here's my latest project. Okay, the guy put this up for me. I used to do this myself. I have bad shoulders from the military. We got electric scooters. You see remember that electric scooters I was telling you guys I got from China? There it is, it's here. It's here. I know it looks like a road demon. That thing goes 60 miles per hour. Okay. I got the storage bin. And if you see on this back wall where my cursor is, I'm gonna have a butcher block table that's going to come across here. Then underneath, I'm going to have cabinetry, and then I'm going to put a light above this. I'm going to have a power station to charge these bikes. Then I'm going to have to figure out another configuration to get some, to hang one more bike. I'm buying myself, I'm giving my old bike that I used to ride in Korea to my lady. I'm going to buy another bike. And I hate these old school water heaters. I think I'm going to get tankless water heaters, but in due time, I'm not a rich man. Okay. You got to plan things out financially and strategically when it comes to your home. Because things like this really don't bring that much value to your home. They're just good to have. There's some comforts of home having a tankless water heater. But somebody will appreciate a well-organized garage. They will. They will. We're talking about the cost of a home, and these is very important for you guys to see. Now, just for, you know, shits and giggles, in case you guys think I was bull crapping, I'm gonna show you. There I am. There I am in my neighborhood. You see in the background the manicure lawns and all that good stuff. That's me on my big old scooter, and I absolutely love it. Laugh, but believe me, I'm grinning all the way down the street. I'm grinning all the way down the street. Yes, I am. Okay, let's see what else I got for you. I'm gonna show you some art. I'm just showing you my home fairly quickly, guys. And I'm gonna leave it up here for you guys to see this for a minute. Let's look at this art real quick. Because we're talking about the cost of a home, and art has, if you are an artsy person, not only the roof, not only cutting your grass, if you're cutting your own grass or you're paying somebody cutting your grass. Now, I'm paying someone to cut my grass, $100 a month. He comes out one time a week. He cuts it, he blows it, and he edge it. I want to do it myself because I want to save $100. But guess what? Because of HOA, here we go again, they won't allow me to have a shed. So I got to be very strategic. I got to be very tricky. I'm going to buy a large storage bin. They said, you can't have a shed. I'm going to get a large storage bin. So let's talk about these pictures. I'm not going to break these pictures down, but you see a teenage person. I don't know if it's a male or female because the features are kind of like unisex, okay? This depends if a female has strong features or a male has soft features. But you see the red, white, and blue, a string of tears coming down the face. The next picture you see is a young man, looks like he's in his early 20s, behind a fence, red, white, and blue with the stars. And then the last one is an older man in chains. And as you can see, I put these in a particular order as I'm going up the steps. Think about Bill Cosby with these pictures on my stair walls. That's what I'm gonna talk about. The cost of your home. The cost of your home. And see, some of you never really seen my home. I don't boast about it, but everything I do, I want meaning inside of it. Okay, I want meaning inside of it. I believe that it's important to have meaning. Let's look at a few more pictures and let's continue on with the video here. I was going to show you my yard and my rocks. Here we go. Let me see here. Let me see if I can show you. There it is. Okay. I can show you 3 pictures in a row. Good, good. Here we go. We're going to see this yard that I've been talking about. All right. So here's the front of my yard. Now, they have a rule in the HOA book that you can't use rocks, right? But the guy literally across the street from me has rocks. 2 houses down on the same side of the street of me, the guy has rocks. Now, when I moved in, I didn't get an HOA packet. HOA didn't come to visit me. So I just started doing things that I saw in the neighborhood without any approval. They said, oh, we were trying to get in contact with you. I said, hey, when I got here, no one told me about all the rules. So I took that as an advantage because ignorance is bliss. This is the true definition of ignorance is bliss. I said, and they said, well, sir, you're going to have to remove the rocks. I said, those rocks are $300. I'm not removing those rocks. I'm not removing those rocks. I'm not removing those rocks, and those rocks are there, and they say they approved it. They said, well, you have to fill out the paperwork because you see this decorative brick right here. You see this border? That didn't come with the house, ladies and gentlemen. I had to pay for that. I had to pay for that. That's around my tree, okay? That's decorative brick and rocks. I had to pay for that. Okay, I had to pay to get this done, to blend it with my house, to bring value to my home. Landscaping brings value to your home. It's introducing, okay? It's introducing your home to somebody. Look at every house. Whether if you're gonna stay in the house from 5 years to 20 years, you never know. So do things that are going to increase the value of your home while you are enjoying your home. Someone's gonna appreciate this if I ever sell this home. I like that. And then when it's a hard structure, they're like, oh, okay, cool. They like stuff like that. Do it for you, but do it for somebody else. It's an investment. This is my home. This is the outside of my home. Now, if anybody even saw my live videos when I first moved in, I was showing all of this. And if you see those pictures, you didn't see that brick in front of the home. You didn't see that. So slowly but surely, I'm strategically putting money in my home to make it more valuable as I am enjoying my home, as anybody should. So let's move on. Enough about my house. Let's talk about these damn fees. Electrical systems. If your electrical system in your home goes, and that's not part of your home insurance or home warranty, you're gonna pay a pretty pickle because only a licensed electricity by law from most states can work on it. Not your homeboy who took up electricity, okay, at the Boys and Girls Club. No, not him. A licensed, certified electrician. Plumbing, that could be costly. I remember my other home when I lived back here in Texas back in 2007. My ex-wife at the time put some noodles in the sink and the noodles clogged the entire drain system. So I called Roto-Rooter out, okay? I called Roto-Rooter out and they said, well, just for us to do a diagnostic, it's $60. And he said, well, it depends on where it's clogged at. I gotta flush the system. We could be looking at $200-something. I said, no, thank you, sir. Nope. I talked to a neighbor. I looked at a DIY video. I end up buying me an auger. I end up using my neighbor's 30-foot ladder, and it had up, you know, those pressure. I don't know if they're pressure relief on the top of a home, but you ever look at somebody's top of their house and you see those like white PVC pipes? They go to different areas in your home. So the neighbor's like, yeah, man, just take the auger, right? The thing you go like this and it shoots down. Whether it's in a toilet or a main drain pipe. I opened up the CVC pipe under the sink, cleared the noodles out of there. Turned the water on, the sink filled back up. Went inside the home and found the main line. Opened that up, I augered that. Noodles came out and I cleared that out. Went back inside, turned the water on, sink filled up. They were like, nah, man, you need to go up on one of the stacks for your drain system. You got one for your bathroom, you have one for your kitchen. So I went up there for the kitchen and I augered it, cleared it out, went back, turned the water on, water drained right through. 2 hours, but I saved $260 some odd. It's very important for you to do some things yourself. Some things. $260 to clear a drain. It's because we don't know the know-how. But plumbing could be very expensive, depending on your problem. Make sure when you have home insurance that your home is protected by termites. Now, you don't really hear about termites anymore, but termites still exist, ladies and gentlemen. They have warranties on home. They do certain things with treatment of the wood. They spray the wood down. They soak the wood. They pressure treat all these things to really stop termites from getting your wood, because termites not only degrades the integrity of your home structure, but termites can cause fires. Termites actually bite inside wires and spark, and it can set your whole house on fire. And believe me, a home in Texas will catch on fire. And we know about other critters like ants can infiltrate your home. That's going to be costly if you don't know what to do. Bleach kills ants. You can also use a product called Sevin, Sebin, from Home Depot or Lowe's to kill it before they even reach the house, and spiders and all that. You know. What about mold? Mold can grow in humid or damp areas and can cause huge health problems. These are things that people don't really think about. What about if your HVAC system is contaminated? HVAC system right now, got the fan blowing, the HVAC system is going, and mold is spewing through the home in very small particles. And see, preventing mold is a matter of keeping water out and fixing any leaks to eliminate environments conducive to mold growth. We talked about landscaping and landscaping and lawn care. And that's important. That's important. Lawn care is important. Lawn care, I tell you, is important, especially when you have HOA telling you have to cut your grass, telling you have to pull your weeds. Cutting this grass, I told you I pay somebody $100 a month before I take it over. That's expensive. I bought a solution called Celsium. It's a dry substance to kill crabgrass and Dallas grass and all other sorts of weeds. The thing was about this big, but it was $100 and something. And I also bought the liquid form of Sevin because I had ant mounds. I had one over there by the garage and another over here by one of my borders. And I had to go out and buy that. Lawn care is expensive. I'm trying to have you guys understand all the fees that are associated with owning a home. Some of you believe that it's cheap. Yes, you should own a home, but understand what you are getting yourself into. Understand what you are getting yourself into. Owning a home is absolutely a wonderful thing. We're blasting music, we're being loud, but because houses are in this community 10 to 20 feet apart, well insulated, no one comes and complains. Own your own home. I hate an apartment. I hate an apartment. I used to own a condo. I hate the condo. That's why I sold it. I hate a condo. Because condo people, they're just like people in an apartment. Hey, I don't care you're doing fucking YouTube videos. Turn it down in there. You're being loud. But when you own your own home, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there's freedom in that. There's freedom. There's freedom in owning your own home. There's freedom. You can scream from the top of your lungs and no one's going to tell you to be quiet. Except for your family. Listen up, guys. You guys got to invest. You guys got to invest. You guys have to absolutely, positively invest. Who else do we have in the room? We have Junior Duke, and the music is too loud, he says. The music is too loud. My apologies. Stephen Johnson says, I must say you have an impressive home. Well, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. Nolan Baptiste, kind sir, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have been working hard, kind sir. Thank you for your dedication to this channel. I thank everybody for joining. And please, if you know any friends or family that are thinking about buying a home or who are in the process of buying a home, please share this video to them. Please share it to them on Facebook, on Instagram, because I simply want people to know the associated cost with owning a home. The realtor, the title company, the bank is going to show you all the financials. They're going to tell you because of your interest rate why your loan costs so much. So you can afford that. But can you afford the fees? Can you afford the mortgage? Can you afford the mortgage insurance? Can you afford the home warranty? The home insurance? The electric bill? The water bill? The sewage bill? The garbage bill? The gas bill? The internet bill? Your Netflix bill, your Prime Video, your Prime account bill, your cable bill, your food bill, your water bill, because you have to sprinkle your lawn, you have to water your lawn bill. Do you still have enough money to pay your car note and car insurance and car maintenance? Do you have this type of money? Understand before you go out and buy a home, can you afford that home? Write them all down. I did a video that I might do a reflection on. I might do a reflection on probably tomorrow after my stock review. I do a reflection on how I broke down all the costs of a home. It's probably about a 2-year-old video, but it's very important. We need to understand that, ladies and gentlemen. It's very imperative for you to own your home, but before you buy your home, can you afford the home? It's very, very important. I don't want you to get yourself in a situation where 6 months later, you're foreclosing on your home. Not closing on your home, moving to a bigger and better home or into a neighborhood in the area that you like, but foreclosing on a home simply because you could not afford the home. We can't leave anything on the table when it comes to buying such a huge investment as owning a home. Most people in the world, your two largest expenses is your vehicle and your home. So let's understand the cost of that before we go out and buy a home. Now, I'm not discouraging you from buying a home. I'm just asking you that you do your research and you become informed of all of these bills that we went over. Because it's important. You want to keep your home. You want to make your home look nice. I apologize during this segment that the music was a little bit too loud. Hopefully you can still hear me. So next time we'll just kind of play music off on the side, not directly into the system. This is Financial Literacy 101. If you want to know a little bit more about houses and the associated costs and how to break it down, tune in tomorrow where I'll go over that as well. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, Tesla, 5-for-1 split, Apple, 4-for-1 split. And look out for those IPOs I gave out earlier. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And before you go buy a home, understand all the bills you have to pay. And the one that I hate the most is those damn HOA fees. I'm out.